and I was being heavily courted by EMI, and this was a new EMI under Terra Firma. So Terra Firma bought EMI, and I got off the job of running North America and the UK, the frontline business, which again on paper sounded great. In practice, it was just a nightmare because I just spent my life on a plane. But I'll give you one anecdote from there. My favourite. This is going to risk of really name dropping here. So a friend of mine called Phil Griffin, who was actually a videographer. So, and I got to know through Amy because he did the Back to Black video and did a lot of her photo stuff. And he was also Prince's videographer. So he documented the 21 nights that Prince did at O2 and kind of was with him. And he called me one day out of the blue and he went, Prince wants to meet you. I was like, fuck off. No, he doesn't. He said, no, he doesn't want to meet you. He's just really interested in Terra Firma because he knows Terra Firma is a bank. He hates record companies, but he's kind of intrigued by the bank. And I said, well, listen, I'll come meet Prince at any time, whenever. And he said, go, great, okay. He said, well, next time you're in LA, let me know when you're coming in. And be warned, he's nocturnal. So it'll be any time. It might be 3:00 in the morning. I'll just go now. I went, okay. And I actually didn't think about it. And so I went to LA literally 2 weeks after that. And I got into town, got in the hotel, jet lagged out of my mind. And I was just about to go, right, I'm out now. And about 10:00 at night, Phil calls out and goes, now. Oh, God, really? So I thought, okay, just threw a coffee down myself, got dressed again. And he picks me up and we go up into this area called Beverly Park. And Beverly Park is right at the top of Beverly Hills. And I always describe it as it's the world's most expensive open prison. So it's like security like you wouldn't believe, but it's once you get inside the gates, it's like, paradise. It's like manicure laws, massive, massive houses. And so we drove up through security. We're on the door, go through there, come up to this enormous house, go through the gates. It's about 11:00 at night this time. And one thing I remember is the front door of this house must have been 20 foot high. And we ring the bell and Prince opens the door, which is just weird. I don't know why that was weird. It was his house, but it was just weird that he opened the door. And not only opened the door, but he's so small, it just looked ridiculous. It looked like a child just opened the door. So anyway, so went in there, started going through it. I thought, well, what is the agenda here? And he turns to me, he goes, so you seem like a very nice man. I went, well, thank you very much, Prince. And you, he said, why do you work for the devil? I went, oh God, this is going to be a really long night. I said, well, I don't work for the devil. I don't, not really. He said, oh yeah, but you stopped my music being played on radio. It's the devil. And so I go, yeah, but no, well, not, because of the internet now, we can't stop your music getting out there. He said, you control the internet. And I was looking at Phil going, oh, this is get me out of here. This is just I'm going to be berated for an hour by Prince telling me I work for the devil. And then he stopped. And we went to this room, which is kind of his boudoir, and he had guitars lined up around the room. And Phil was going, you sit in the corner, Phil, and just film. So it's so weird. But I was sitting on this chair and Prince was just picking up guitars and playing and talking to me about everything from music to women. I was going, this is the most bizarre experience. I don't know what I'm doing here, but that's Prince. And he's literally about 10 feet away from me talking about girls and guitars and songs. And after about an hour, and we were having a dialogue, he goes, would you like a drink? I thought, I'd love a drink. I just water. I was really dry. So he said, okay, we'll go through to the kitchen. And we went through the kitchen, and there was he opens one cupboard, and there's a bottle of red wine right in the middle of the cupboard, just one bottle of red wine. I thought, well, this is a bit weird. He said, because I thought he's a Jehovah's Witness. I didn't think he drank. So anyway, he opens this one bottle of wine. Poor old Phil Griffin was sitting in the corner filming this. I've got to see this video. I can find the film. And we had a bottle of wine together and got slightly drunk. So I got slightly drunk with Prince. And then it all came out that what the agenda of the meeting was about. So probably the most iconic building in the entire music industry actually is Capitol Tower in LA. It's a very, if you're familiar, it looks like a deck. It was designed to look like a deck of 7-inch records with a needle on the top. And it's, when you see any images of Los Angeles, you'll guarantee you'll see the Capitol Tower. And that was part of my remit because they were owned by EMI. So I ran Capital and the other side of the frontline labels there. So he said to me, yeah, so I can solve all your problems. I went, that's amazing, Prince. Please tell me how. Make me president of Capitol Records. So, and I was tired enough and jet lagged enough and drunk enough, I think, at the time to go, you know what? That may be a really great idea. And my friend who's filming looked at me going, so he's like, time to go. So I said, I a lot to think about. It's so incredible meeting you. You know, it's a privilege and honor. I've got to go. And as we drove down the hill, Phil turned to me and said, don't even think about making him president of Capitol Records. Which I didn't. I came to my senses about going, no, it'd be mental. He'd have painted it purple or something like that. But just bizarre. But I mean, I just go, and I finally, subsequent to that, I saw him a couple of other times. And, you know, genius is the word that people throw out in the music business too randomly. But he's an absolute, a total genius. I've never seen anybody with a command. You watch his guitar playing. His guitar playing is insane, and that, you know, you got that kind of thing where what he hears in his head, he just reproduces in the guitar. It's not. There's no kind of thought, but it's just automatic. It's just an extension of him. And so, you know, not long after that meeting, he did a kind of reception for his new album in another house, funny, in Beverly Hills. And we all sort of gathered in the room, and it was a ballroom. It was not massive. And he plays their album. Then he comes out with a full band and played for 2 hours non-stop. Which again, I was exhausted. And I was just such a huge fan, but literally I was 2 hours going, geez, really? Phenomenal. And you go, this guy is he's just on some completely different level to, you know, 99.9% of the artists in the world. So there is my terra firma. And I would not have met him if it hadn't been for terra firma, because he thought we were back. But